Hey guys, Xfox here. Check it out. We are back with another quick review of King's Raid character Chrisha. She's been new. She's been out for a couple weeks, so let's give a quick overview. Let's get right down to it. So first things first, she's a mechanic. Again, it's a well-played class, if you could say. I haven't seen her used really much in the top 100 or so teams. You get a sprinkle over here and there, so I don't know why a lot of people aren't really utilizing her. I don't know if they're waiting for new items to come out for her or maybe a little bit of rework, but as of right now, I don't see a lot of the top people using her currently. Now, she kind of does like this green light, red light, blue light, and based upon which light you do, you kind of get a different effect. And I've been seeing this a lot, especially with the healers and stuff they've been coming out with, where, based upon if you're using a certain good or bad aspect of it, the move or the skill does different things. So that's where we're going to look at this first, is this Techno magic of the Empire. So it increases the attack damage by X, and then of course accuracy by 100 for all allies, and own normal attacks. So that's pretty good, like a self buff for the team. So this is her passive. Now, based upon which light you have on, this is where she can really kind of change up. She has the red light, which increases the actual damage, right? Which is huge, 100% boost. I mean, how can you go wrong by that? Blue light reduces damage of normal attacks by 50%, but deals damage to the entire enemy, so it's kind of like an AoE, right? Takes additional 30% increased M damage for 10 seconds, and green light reduces damage of normal attacks by 20%, but deals damage to 2 enemies. Heal rate of target is reduced by 20. So really the big ones here, really the only big one is going to be red light. Now, if you do blue light, then switch automatically back to red light, that's a huge buff increase, but primarily you are going to do red light. She is a very slow attacker if you guys have been looking her up. So again, primarily she's going to be done as a damage dealer. So let's look at some of her actual skills here. Blight of Annihilation. So again, this is the one I think most everybody's going to use. Deals, X M damage that ignores defense, inflicts stun for 3 seconds, additional X amount of damage, and then of course, after all light stacks are removed. So this is the primary one that I think a lot of people are going to focus on, which is going to be the red. The blue, not so much. It's okay. Dispels all negative effects from itself, deals X damage to enemies, and silences them for 1 second. So again, it's all right, but I think again the red one is going to be what people are going to use most, as well as green zone. Again, it's all right, but again, most people will rely on red. Now, I don't think she's going to be all that. She's not going to be all that kind of auto friendly. You really need to kind of coordinate these particular zones as you need them in the game. Sure, she'll be okay if she sticks to light, but most of them are red. Most of them, again, you need to really focus on her skills individually to get to basically to maximize her. So now to transcend, this one's pretty straightforward. You're going to go with the kind of the classic, attack as well as the defense. Number 2 is always kind of up in the air, but I've seen a lot of people take 2-2 and 2-4 from what we typically see. Now, most people will skip any of the 3 skill perks. They'll actually go with the kind of the generic tier 5, 1, and 2. Of course, the dark is great, but if you are going to go for a tier 3 boost, most people will go both darks here. Again, I don't know the exact reason why people will go darks here. Some people were picking the darks there. But for the top tiered people that I saw, they were going, of course, the darks here. So totally up to you. Now let's go take a look at her individual items to kind of see, right, if those items are, oops, wrong one, if those items are even worth it. So let's go unique here. Let's go here. So her unique, her unique weapon, I probably wouldn't use her until you get her ultimate weapon, because look at this. Based upon, again, the light you pick, you can get, right, different kind of attributes. So whatever it is your team is going to focus on, you can really kind of increase either the attack, the defense, or the green light. And this scales very well. Of course, just like many of the other ultimate weapons, they kind of scale very well. You get this thing to a 3. That's huge. That's huge in these 17 seconds. 17% increase for 10 seconds is huge. It's some of these, if you can ultimate her, that is awesome. Is it required? I'm going to say yes for her, just for the sheer fact that, again, she kind of gives this kind of self buff, as well as being able to do a lot of actual damage herself. So let's go look at unique treasures. So for her, she's going to have 3. Let's scroll down here. She's going to have, I believe, this one here. Blight of Annihilation, increased damage by 20% and reset cooldowns upon killing an enemy. So this scales, of course, very well. I think this is the one that most I think most people are going to want to use. The other two I don't think are all that great. So you get this one to a 2, which is great. I mean, 30% increase, and then of course everything resets upon killing an enemy. And if I remember right, here's the second one. Reduces cooldown for 5 seconds, and for 10 seconds increases M damage chart received by 10%. So not bad. I mean, both of these are definitely good. I really like this particular T10 more, but again, as that kind of increases, I really would like it if the actual skill cooldown increased, but it doesn't. So this one I don't think is as effective as that particular other one. And here's our last one. Green Zone reduces cooldown by 30% and increases heal rate reduction effects of Green Zone by additional 20. So this again is still good, but you're gonna be picking between those two, and I think you're probably gonna go for the Sword of Nose Hill. Now, typical gear-wise, you guys are probably asking, you're just going to stick, of course, with Black Dragon gear. You're going to probably still focus on her, attack speed, attack, crit, and crit damage, kind of the 5 main options. And that's kind of the same gear that I saw on the top people. I have a feeling they might rework this character just a little bit, because I feel like the skill 2 and 3 are just not there. Skill 1 is everybody's going to use. You might use skill number 2, again, just to buff skill number 1 to get that extra 30% increased M damage. So I don't know. We're going to see where kind of things go with her in the game, but a few of you guys asked me to kind of do a quick review on her, and not go into just a bunch of gibberish. But yeah, I think they're probably going to redo this one here. But again, if you can get off enemy blockade and kind of get the stack, and then of course execute Blight of Annihilation, that is good. So overall, she's a not buy for me currently until they redo her, but we might see what happens in the future. So go ahead and definitely subscribe, guys, if you guys haven't already. Thanks again.